everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from the 41st millennium. Yes, we are back once more with the Ultramarines, and of course it is, well, he's not the Ultramarine, but he's close to being the Ultramarine. It's Marneus Calgar, the all-new version of him in the Terminator armor, the Armour of Antilochus, I think is what it's called. And a massive thank you goes out to Games Workshop, who sent me him early to build up and paint with all of you. Now, I'm really excited actually, because having built him, having spent some time with him now, I think he looks absolutely fantastic, and well, it's a downside big improvement over the previous version of him, which I didn't know was possible because I liked the old one, but now I really like this one and the old one looks rubbish. So we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting him. So he has been primed in Grace here, and the colour we're going to be using first is a roughly 4 parts Asurmen Blue to 1 part Lahmian medium mix, and we're going to be applying this over top of all of the blue armour, just like this. So we're just going to take it a section at a time. We're looking to get a nice smooth coat here, but if you don't get a nice smooth coat, that's okay. We do have another coat of contrast paint to go over the top of this after this, and then once that's on, later on I'll show you how to smooth it out should you need to, which I probably will, to be honest, as well. I'm just going to get this all over, all of the blue. Taking it a section at a time. Nice and steady. And then once that's all done, we'll come back. So with that Asurmen Blue all applied, we're then going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Ultramarines Blue and Lahmian Medium. I'm going to apply this over the top of it. So with all of that done, we're going to move on from the blue for now, and we're going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to use this next to do, well, kind of all of that sort of like the tiny little details really. So what we've got is we've got the little gaps in the armour, and this is going to include things like the knuckles on the gauntlets of Ultramar, like that sort of thing. It's going to include the gaps in behind his knee and his armpits and stuff like that. But what we're also going to do with the Black Legion is we're going to use this to colour in the casings of the bolt guns. Like that one there, as well as the ribbed cables. So with all of that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Baal Red, and we're going to apply this over the top of the outside of the cloak. And whilst we wait for all that Baal Red to dry, we then take some Flesh Tearers Red, and we're going to apply this over the top of all the leather details and the rope. With that Flesh Tearers Red all applied, we then take a little bit of Sigvald Burgundy. I'm going to use this over the top of all the little wax seals. And with that all done, we then take some Guilliman Flesh. I'm going to apply this over the top of his face. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Skeleton Horde, and we're going to apply this over top of the parchment and the inside of the cloak. So with that all done, our next port of call is to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Larmian Medium and Basilicanum Grey. We're going to apply this over the top of the sort of Terminatory bits here on the leg and the Crux Terminatus on the shoulder. With that all done, we then take two colours, Iyanden Yellow and Magmadroth Flame. I'm going to apply them over the top of this little flame motif here on the gauntlet by taking some Iyanden Yellow first, just like that. Then we take a little bit of Magmadroth Flame. We apply this like so. Wash the brush. And then grab a little bit of Iyanden Yellow and apply it like that. With that all done, we're then going to take some Tyran Blue. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of our white Ultimas. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour, and I'm going to apply this over top of all of our gold details, which is basically any trim and any decoration. So anything that looks like it's remotely mechanical, such as the bolt guns and the power lines and things like that, we're going to avoid that for now. But for the rest of it, we're going to apply this Retributor Armour over the top. And with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I'm going to use this over the top of all of our remaining details. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades. And we're going to start on the cloak. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Larmian Medium to 1 part Flesh Tearers Red mix. We're going to apply this over the top of the cloak. And then next up, we're going to take some Reikland Fleshshade, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the gold, the Flesh Tearers Red of the leather and the rope, and we're going to apply this over top of Calgar's face as well. And with that Reikland Fleshshade all applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to use this over the top of Calgar's hair and over the top of all the silver and the black of the bolt gun casings. And with our shades applied, Marneus Calgar is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and he's looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave it there, of course not. No, we're going to take it to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now the first of these is going to be a layer, and it's our corrective layer that we talked about earlier with the blue. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some Macragge Blue. I'm going to thin it down with roughly 4 or 5 parts water. Just make it nice and thin. I'm going to glaze this over the top of all of the flat parts of the blue that we need to clean up. Now if you don't need to clean anything up, you can just skip this step. But what it will do is it will make a really nice rich blue colour. So it is worth doing, even if you don't need to. So with that Macragge Blue glaze all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Calgar Blue. Fitting, right? And we use this to highlight all the blue. So with that Calgar Blue all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Fenrisian Grey. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the sharpest points of all the blue. With our blue all highlighted, what we're now going to do is work on the white. And what we're going to do is going to take some thinned down Corax White. I'm going to use this to relayer all of our Ultimas, but what we're also going to do with the Corax White is we're going to use this to highlight Calgar's hair. With that Corax White applied, we then take some thinned down white Scar. We use this to highlight all of those white details. So with the white all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Administratum Grey. And we're going to use this to highlight those terminatory bits. And with that all done, we then once again use some Corax White, only this time we're just going to use this as a little spot highlight for those terminatory bits, just picking up the sharpest points. Next up, we're going to take some thinned down Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to highlight the cloak. And then next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Fire Dragon Bright. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the sharpest little corners and light points of the red cloak. But what we're also going to do with the Fire Dragon Bright is going to use this just to add a little bit of extra brightness to that flame motif on the gauntlet. With that all done, I'm now going to take some thinned down Squig Orange. I'm going to use this to highlight the red leather and the rope. Next up, we're going to take some thinned down Pink Horror. I'm going to use this to highlight the wax seals. And then next up, we're going to take some thinned down Thunderhawk Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight the black details. With that Thunderhawk blue all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight Calgar's face. With that Flayed One Flesh applied, we then take a tiny little bit of Black Legion and we use this to pick out his eyeball. And with that Black Legion applied, we then take the tiniest little dot of Screaming Skull and we apply it in both the corners of his eyes. Like so. But what we're also going to use the Screaming Skull for is to highlight the teeth and the parchment. So our next port of call is going to be all the gold. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour first. I'm going to use this to relayer the wider, larger areas. And so with that all done, we're then going to take a roughly 2 parts Stormhost Silver to 1 part Retributor Armour mix. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the gold. So with that all done, he is now beautifully shiny. And what we're going to do is going to make him a little bit more shiny by taking some thinned down Iron Breaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. What we will also do is pick out the little studs in the leather as well. So with all that silver highlighted, we've just got a couple of things left to do to finish him off. The first of these is to take some Flesh Tearers Red. We're going to apply this over the top of all the gems and lenses. And so with that all done, we then take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to use this to add some little text to all the parchment. So with that all done, we're going to very quickly work on his base. And we're going to take some Targor Rageshade. I'm going to apply this over the top of all the masonry. With that Targor Rageshade applied, we then take some Balthazar Gold and we apply this over top of all the shell casings. And so with that all done, we're then going to shade both the Balthazar Gold and the Targor Rageshade with some Agrax Earthshade. And then we're just going to coat the negative space with Stirland Mud and then dry brush the whole thing with Tyrant Skull, which we've done so many times on the channel before. we're going to skip it on this occasion for this video. And with that base now complete, Marneus Calgar in the Armour of Antilochus is now finished. And yeah, I said at the top of the video, I think it's a much improved version of Marneus Calgar. It's more traditional for me, at least, for him to be in his Terminator armour, and he looks absolutely fantastic. Lovely model, and it's really fun to paint. There's lots and lots of different textures going on here, and it's just fun. It's really cool. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.